Welcome back. You're still watching the lifestyle segment on The Weekend Show. Now, what do we do with our weekends? It's another weekend, and it's salary weekend, so we have nothing to complain about. Well, we do have things to complain about, but how can we actually have fun? How can we actually engage ourselves in things that we're excited about? But beyond that, I feel being able to take our time gives you space to be more creative and also to network, because it's not always within the offices and on LinkedIn that you get these greatest connections. Some of the best connections I've made have been over drinks and maybe non-alcoholic drinks. But it's extremely important that we do create spaces for us to have entertainment, for us to be able to make Nigeria the tourism destination which we want it to be. Now, people do it in different ways, from Nollywood to music and the event space. I remember people comparing a particular wedding to the Met Gala. I remember people comparing Nigerian concerts to some of the biggest in the world. And we've seen Nigerian entertainers fill up different spaces. But if you know something about Nigeria, we do know how to party. Over the last couple of years, I've heard about Sunday at ILASHE, and I keep on wondering, at what point would we have some type of things in Abuja? And then I saw this beautiful venue on Instagram a couple of days ago, and lo and behold, a good friend sent me a message saying, hey, we've got something we're doing there this weekend. We'll have that conversation, but I would like to introduce my guest. Michael Shonaro, you're a content creator, an events producer, you're a podcaster. I've listened to your podcast, Menism. Your videos find its way from TikTok to X, and you've always been in that space, but you're always trying to create value, which is very amazing. So welcome to the Weekend Show.
Thank you for having me.
We also have Tony Amir. Tony Amir is the CEO, TA Global Events and Nightlife. Tony, I've followed your progress over the last 10 years, from when you used to organize the biggest raves which we had in Abuja, being able to convene and aggregate young people. You're one of the few people that had started that and has kept that culture ongoing, to your success in the nightlife space. Welcome to the Weekend Show.
Thank you for
And
having
you
me.
need to explain why you're just getting on the Weekend Show for the first time after all these years.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Great. Let's talk about why you're here. Sunday at ILASHE, how did that even start?
So first off, thank you for having me. The way it started was, I used to run a lot of the events in Lagos before with my entertainment company called EMG Entertainment before COVID. So when I finished my master's, I brought the events to Lagos, where I used to run a lot of the lounges, the bars in Lagos. Then when COVID happened, you saw how all of us were stuck in COVID. So I was stuck in the UK for about 9 months. So that's actually when I started creating content that went viral, but my content spoke about nightlife in Lagos. So that was easy to pivot now into something new when I got back, because I didn't want to do the clubs anymore. And I already used to do a lot of private beach parties in Lagos. So that's when my friends were telling me, like, see, a lot has changed since you left. Why don't you look at the beach and make it a real business? So that's when I started doing more beach parties, but then I branded it as Sunday at ILASHE. And the reason I called it Sunday at ILASHE is because Sunday was one of the main days a lot of us went to the beach. Because on Saturdays you have weddings, you have parties, but then Sunday after church is the one time you have so much free time. And that's when we created it. And what made us stand out was, we noticed for beach parties in Lagos, there wasn't something that was branded to bring a lot of young people together. And because I was somebody that was in nightlife, I was able to mix with both audiences, both on the island, mainland, whether you went to school abroad or in Nigeria. That's the one place everybody was able to come together. And we've grown it for the last 4 years. That's
amazing. Tony, Abuja has been one of those places where those Lagosians will tell us, oh, we're dry, we have nothing to do. And I'm subbing you people, Michael, so I'm pointing at you. But we've seen the space in Abuja grow and develop so much. However, it has taken individual efforts. When they talk about the informal sector, it's pretty much one of those, even though we now run it as businesses which sustain it. Is the entertainment sector and industry actually viable, or is it all smokes and mirrors?
So for us, we have taken a lot of time to move across different phases, from not being able to fill up venues of 2,000 people to closing out a show like Rema with 10,000 people. So I believe the industry in Abuja is looking at a new phase. The phase in which more people are willing to come out, more people are willing to travel here, more people are realizing, okay, it's not just Lagos. When I go for my 30 December, my holidays, I can go to Abuja. More venues are opening up, and more leaders in the markets are looking, okay, maybe we can dabble in more events than just our outlets, which is the clubs and the restaurants and the lounges. For us in the space, and me in particular, I'll speak for myself, I just really want to create more experiences for people that they haven't seen before, which is why the whole partnership with Michael comes in, and I'm like, oh, this is something Abuja would love. We don't have ILASHE, but we have this new venue, and it's close, and we'll take it, So more experiences like this for people to enjoy, more collaborations with partners from Lagos, from the UK, from America, just to make sure Abuja really gets what it deserves in the limelight. Because we have been trying for the past 5 to 8 years, like you would know, So that's what we're on this year, and I believe we'll expand so much more this year.
So you know something which keeps on coming up. We know the economic situation in Nigeria. I've heard on the Menism podcast something called balling on the budget. Everybody talks about luxury these days. What makes a great event? If we take away that luxury tag that we place on everything right now, as someone in this space, what three things would you say that makes a great event for you right now?
For me, I'll say the experience, the people, and the feedback I get in the end. We have started moving away from luxury, which is why, like I said, Sunday at ILASHE has always been an event I enjoyed, because it was not always about luxury. It was about come, have fun, do your thing, and go. Because I believe the middle class, especially in our space, are being neglected a lot, because everybody wants to concentrate on the luxury guys. But there's still the middle class that just want to get their tickets, maybe do a cocktail or two and go back. But most people always want to do, oh, it's tables or nothing. So we're trying to deviate from that. So for us, we want the experiences to make sense, the feedback, and then to be able to tour the events around the world.
That's great. And so, Michael, I skipped a couple of questions just to come back to this. Both of you have an event tomorrow in Abuja. What's that event about? Tell us about it.
So, like he said, we've been wanting to expand Sunday at ILASHE the last number of years, and Tony is one of the main people that has been pushing for me to come to Abuja. Now, I am not one of those people that was subbing Abuja.
You better not be.
What's funny is I told him my first time in Abuja was actually a month ago for a friend's wedding, and when I saw it, that's when I called him and said, look, I apologize for taking so long for coming. And it just so happens the week later, that's when Varuna opened. And we already had relationships with the owners from Lagos. Oh, yeah. So that's when, sometimes it's all about timing. That it was like, what, let's actually come together and do this. And for us coming to Abuja, we're a brand that has established itself around the world. That's Nigerians and Africans and even non-Africans. When they come to Nigeria, they want to come to Sunday ILASHE because they associate it as the beach. But then we knew when coming to Abuja, we have to partner with the right people. We can't just come on our own, understanding. So that was one of the reasons we partnered with Tony, even outside of Sunday ILASHE, even the relationship from before. But the one this Sunday, to me, I'm very excited for it. It's probably, to me, I feel like it's going to be one of our best ones because, we don't have to worry about so many logistics. With Sunday ILASHE, when we do it in Lagos, we're taking over 300 people to the beach, which means we're handling the boats, we're handling the transportations, which we've been able to do. But then obviously from a business standpoint, there's a lot less stress being on a land venue. But I see a lot of opportunity for Abuja people want to come and connect because like you said, the experience is there with Sunday at ILASHE, which is the fun. There are a lot of activities we have lined up during the day. There are a lot of DJs we have lined up. There are a lot of hosts. And we didn't bring people from Lagos. We wanted to promote the Abuja DJs, the Abuja hype men, even the Abuja promoters. Then outside of that, I feel like the people now, this is the one time a lot of people, like he said, in a certain demographic can come together and connect. Because when you're in the club now, it's hard to have those kind of conversations. But with Sunday ILASHE, it starts from the day all the way to the nighttime. So you're able to have those connections with people that are in your area or your demographic. So I think this Sunday is going to be something different for Abuja that they're not used to, and it'll probably incentivize more people to come to Lagos to have the real ILASHE, but I feel like we're going to be doing a lot more in Abuja.
I think it's important with how you have handled it. For some of us, we've been in the event and entertainment space for over 15 years. And one of the biggest reasons why some events fail in Abuja is that some people come from other cities and just want to come and copy and paste and do what they do wherever in Abuja. But the biggest connecting point for the success stories have been people who are willing to collaborate with local promoters, like you're doing, with someone who knows the lay of the land. You don't go to some country and just go, oh, Google Maps will take me there. And so that's something which you're doing. And it feeds into my next question, where we go for most events and people are just sitting in their groups, on their tables, talking to their friends. There's rarely activities within the event itself. And so if you don't know anybody, people want, and there are a lot of people who want to be able to just go out. I'm a solo outing person. Like I want to just go out and take a drive, end up somewhere, have a drink, have food or whatever. People want to be able to go out. But you hear some people say, oh, I don't have friends there. People would only relate with people they know. What extra do you do at your events to break that barrier?
So it's funny you said that, because that's what we pride ourselves on. There's so many people that come to Sunday ILASHE that don't know anybody and leave there with their closest friends. The joke I always say is, so far I have 5 Sunday at ILASHE babies. I have 3 weddings from Sunday at ILASHE.
Okay.
And a lot of businesses and relationships that have been formed from people meeting from the first time. And like I said, it's because of the activities we have lined up. Even somebody like myself, I'm very personable in my events, where we'll go to all the tables, we'll say, hey, we'll give shots to all the people, we'll connect people. The games that people play, it forces you to speak and talk. So that's why we have the Sunday ILASHE as a whole day event, because the first half of the day is just activities to get people to connect, get people to relax. Then by the evening time, that's when the real party now starts. But people are already comfortable from mixing with so many people that it's now easier to have the party flowing the whole night.
You know, it's interesting that he said it's all day, because if you know Abuja, when you have events, and this is how I say it, if you have an event for 3 p.m., it means you start by 5 p.m. And so there's the 5 p.m. crowd that some will come by 3, but let's say 5 o'clock, and they come by 5 and they just want to have fun, because some of them have curfews. And so by 7, 8, they can go back home. They're the ones who come by 7, the ones who are like suya. They need a bit of darkness to spice up their whatever. And then they do that. And then there are the night crawlers who will come by 10. And so being able to put things in for everybody. And Tony, I'm sure you agree.
Yeah, so like with the event tomorrow, we have, like, for example, we have Fowles just released his album yesterday, The Feast. We have his listening party also. He's flying down from Lagos. We have Jesse Jazz. We have some other special guests that are coming. So we try to encourage everyone to come early as possible, so we can start the day early and move on to the night. But like you said, there are people that come by 3 so they can get home on time before their parents find out that they really did not go to buy something from H-Medics. And there are the people that need a bit of darkness, you know. So we just have to put something for everyone.
Okay. Tony, before I let you go, I have one question for you and one for you. We find that in the event space, sometimes there's a struggle to have a good event without a headlining artist. From the promotions I've seen around your event, I like that it was about the event and not focused on the big names coming. How can we have great events without it being focused on the big names, Tony?
I'm trying to run away from controversy, but just to put it now, a lot of people don't do big names anymore. Artist prices are not what they used to be 4 or 5 years ago. So now, except you have strong relationships with people in the industry, you might not pull off an artist. For example, I think we closed Fowles like weeks before, but like Michael was like, no, we don't announce until Friday. Let's be about the event, you know. For us, and if you notice in Nigeria, most event promoters are moving towards the rave like sector, so DJ events and stuff. Most people are like, oh, it's because like they're tapping into like international markets. No, artists are expensive. So most people are like, okay, let's concentrate on DJs and the experience of the event, and then we'll move from there. But there are also events that don't need DJs and artists. It just depends on what you want to create. Like, there are still plays. There are still. I just believe we're so
In the box.
in a box. Yeah,
Yeah.
there are different things to do, which we'll explore more this year on that.
And
Well
to
done.
add on to what he said, one thing we pride ourselves on with Sunday ILASHE is, again, the artist doesn't make the event, we make the event. And in Lagos, we actually had a lot of the artists that were coming voluntarily to Sunday at ILASHE. You know, for example, we've had Ashake come, bought his table, we've had Phils come, we've had Young John come, so many other artists that come. So when we started noticing that all of them are coming on their own, that's what gave us the confidence to really push the brand, realizing that it's the people that make the event. So a lot of people are starting to notice that, and even in Abuja now, I've noticed that a lot of events here or things I've gone to, it's not the artists that make it, it's the people. It's just how you promote it at the end of the day.
So where can people find out more about this event, and how frequent do you intend to do this?
So with Sunday at ILASHE, you can follow us on Instagram, Sunday at ILASHE_. And then if you want tickets for tomorrow, we're selling it on Eventbrite, we're selling it on Tix. If you want tables, you could also get them online or get them at the venue. Tickets will be on sale. Abuja, I feel like we're going to be coming here a lot more now that we've seen.
Just don't bring the traffic with it.
You guys have enough roads that there won't be traffic, so it's okay.
Don't tell them, don't tell them.
But I think we're definitely going to be doing it in Abuja a lot more, and then we've also started discussing about taking Sunday at ILASHE outside of Nigeria this year, because unfortunately in Lagos, with the way the economy is and the government is, there hasn't been a lot of support towards the ILASHE. And you know, they destroyed Landmark
Yeah.
Beach, which was one of our pivotal grounds. So we said, you know what, since we built such a strong brand, and again, because of partnerships and the relationships we have, said that, you know, it's time to take this outside, because we're now a product of Nigeria. We're not just an event. People outside the country know Sunday at ILASHE as a product from Nigeria. So it's time to just take it outside.
Gentlemen, well done. I'm so proud of you. I'll pop in tomorrow.
We hope
All
to
the
see
best
you.
with
We hope to
it.
see you.
And keep the flag flying.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's the much we can take on the lifestyle segment. But just before I go, I want to give a special shout out to Chelsea Football Club, because I'm a fan, and because some people in the studio are not fans. Just say congrats. We did amazing. We won a cup. We're in the top 4, as opposed to some people. And so we'll be having more on that on our sports segment. But